The Amazon rainforest is a world of extremes, breathtaking beauty and immense danger. Its vast green canopy stretches for thousands of miles, sheltering countless species and mysteries beneath its leaves. But hidden within this wild expanse are communities that have learned to survive in ways most of us can hardly imagine. Today I'm exploring a different kind of survival, life in Belén, a floating city on the outskirts of Iquitos, Peru. Here, the river is both a lifeline and a challenge, shaping every aspect of daily existence. As our boat approaches, wooden houses on stilts and rafts emerge from the jungle, a testament to human adaptability. These homes seem to float between two worlds, the dense forest and the ever-moving river. This city rises and falls with the river, with no streets or sidewalks, just water everywhere. Boats replace cars, and every journey is made by paddling through winding water channels. During the dry season, muddy ground appears. The river recedes, revealing the earth beneath the homes. Children play in the mud, and families repair their houses, preparing for the next flood. In the rainy season, the river swells, and the entire community floats. The water rises so high that it sometimes reaches the floorboards of the houses, blurring the line between land and river. Homes bob on balsa wood rafts, engineered out of necessity. Each raft is carefully constructed, using local materials and generations of knowledge passed down through families. From afar, Belén looks chaotic, but up close, it's vibrant and alive. The city pulses with energy, laughter, and the sounds of daily life on the water. Women wash clothes in the river, fishermen mend nets, and families gather on floating platforms to share stories and meals. Children paddle canoes with ease, learning to navigate the waterways almost as soon as they can walk. This isn't just a place to live, it's a community that dances with the river. Every day brings new challenges, but also new reasons to celebrate. My journey here is about understanding how people thrive in harmony with nature. The river is unpredictable, but the people of Belén have learned to read its moods and rhythms. The people of Belén face unimaginable challenges. No land, no legal rights, and few resources. Yet, they find ways to make life meaningful and joyful. They endure constant exposure to the elements, from scorching sun to torrential rain, and still manage to create a sense of home. Yet, they've built a culture rich in resilience and connection to the river. Their traditions, music, and celebrations are all shaped by the water that surrounds them. As we glide into the heart of this floating city, I'm reminded that survival is about ingenuity, resourcefulness, and the ability to adapt to whatever comes next. Community and spirit are at the core of Belén's strength. People here rely on each other, sharing what little they have and working together to overcome adversity. Here, life is defined not by what you have, but by how you adapt, and by the bonds you build with those around you. The houses in Belén float on massive balsa wood rafts called topas. No concrete, just buoyant logs. These rafts are the lifeblood of the community, allowing homes to rise and fall with the river's unpredictable moods. Instead of being anchored to the earth, these houses are anchored to the water, adapting to the Amazon's rhythm. Built entirely by hand, these homes are crafted from wood, bamboo, and corrugated metal, designed to move with the river. Every nail and board is placed with care, using materials that are both lightweight and resilient, so the houses can withstand the constant motion and the challenges of the wet season. Life inside is always in motion. The floor sways gently beneath your feet, and the soundtrack's the lapping of water and the calls of birds, not the noise of traffic or city life. The river is ever present, shaping daily routines and even the way people sleep and eat. Families live close together, sharing single-room dwellings, and a communal spirit. Neighbors are never far away, and the sense of community is strong. People rely on each other for support, sharing resources and stories as they float side by side. Every detail is about survival. Gaps in the floor for drainage, simple shutters for rain, and sparse, functional furniture. Nothing is wasted, and every object has a purpose, from the way the floors are built to the way the windows open to catch a breeze. Cooking is done on clay stoves, carefully balanced to avoid fire. Meals are simple but nourishing, often made from fish caught just outside the door, and every meal is a reminder of the river's generosity and danger. These homes are life rafts, protecting families from the river's unpredictability. When the water rises, the houses rise too, keeping families safe and dry above the flood. The most remarkable feature? Mobility. These homes aren't fixed in place. They can be moved whenever needed, adapting to the river's changes or the family's needs. When a family moves, they untie their house and tow it to a new spot. Home is wherever the family floats. This freedom to relocate is both a necessity and a unique way of life. For Belén's residents, houses aren't tied to land, but to the people inside. The bonds of family and community are what truly hold these homes together. This floating architecture is a symbol of ingenuity and adaptation. It's a testament to the creativity and resilience of people who have learned to thrive in a place where the ground is always shifting. In Belén, survival means building a home that moves with you. Every year brings new challenges, and every family must be ready to repair, rebuild, or relocate as the river demands. Here, the river is both foundation and frontier, a living, moving base for a city that floats on hope, ingenuity, and the enduring spirit of its people. In Belén, the day begins with dawn's light and the river's gentle sounds. Men paddle out to fish, their knowledge of the river their greatest asset. Women head to floating markets, wash clothes, and manage households, all on the water. Children paddle to floating schools, balancing education with family needs. School attendance is a challenge, but parents sacrifice for their children's future. As evening falls, families gather on porches, sharing meals and stories by lamplight. The river reflects the glow of community, not just water. In a world without land, community bonds are everything. Here, survival is a shared effort, and the city thrives on connection. Belén's rhythm is set by the river, but its heart beats with its people. In Belén, canoes are everything. Family car, school bus, delivery truck. Children learn to paddle as soon as they can walk, navigating crowded waterways with skill. Larger motorized boats serve as taxis and cargo ships, connecting Belén to Iquitos and beyond. The main street is a bustling waterway, alive with boats and voices. The floating market is the economic heart, hundreds of canoes and boats trading fish, fruit, and daily essentials. Here, trade is personal, built on relationships and trust, not just money. Bargaining is friendly, and every transaction is a moment of connection. I bought grilled fish from a woman cooking in her canoe. Our exchange was more than commerce, it was community. In Belén, the currency of trust is as valuable as cash. The river is both highway and marketplace, keeping the city alive. Every paddle stroke is a link in the chain of survival. Here, movement is life. One of Belén's biggest challenges is land ownership, or rather, the lack of it. Floating homes mean no legal title, no formal address, and no access to basic government services. Residents are seen as squatters, invisible to the law and vulnerable to eviction. Without land rights, they can't get loans, file police reports, or demand public services. This legal limbo leaves them powerless and exposed. As one fisherman told me, the river gives us everything, but the law gives us nothing. Yet, the community fights for recognition, organizing, protesting, and demanding to be seen. Their struggle isn't just for a piece of paper, but for dignity and security. They want to be recognized as a permanent part of the city. In Belén, the fight for rights is a fight for identity and future. Survival here means demanding to exist. Life on the river is a daily battle against the elements and unseen dangers. Clean water and sanitation are constant struggles. Waste flows into the same river that provides drinking water. Waterborne diseases threaten children, and healthcare is distant and hard to reach. The river's currents can be deadly, and wildlife like piranhas and caimans add to the risks. Fire is a constant fear in these wooden homes. Fishing is the main livelihood, but overfishing and pollution threaten food security. Many must work on the mainland, splitting their lives between two worlds. The pressure to survive is relentless, adding stress to every day, yet the people endure, adapting to every challenge. In Belén, survival is a test of resilience and resourcefulness. Every day is a fight to stay afloat, literally and figuratively. Despite the hardships, Belén thrives on innovation and community. Families rig makeshift power lines for electricity, lighting up their floating homes. When disaster strikes, neighbors unite, repairing, rebuilding, and sharing what little they have. Nothing goes to waste. Bottles become rafts. Old, Wood patches homes, and floating gardens grow food and tires. Resourcefulness is a way of life, turning trash into tools for survival. Social bonds are strong, houses cluster together, forming floating neighborhoods with their own leaders and rules. Mutual support is the true safety net here. In a world that moves, these connections are the anchor. Belén's greatest strength is its collective spirit. Here, survival is a shared art, and community is everything. Ingenuity and unity keep this city afloat. To truly understand Belén, you must listen to the voices of its people, their hopes, their struggles, and their dreams carried on the river's current. Elena, a mother of 4, runs a floating shop, selling what she can, when she can, for her children's future. Each day, she navigates the river's challenges, balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship with unwavering determination. Her story echoes across Belén, women building businesses out of necessity and love, supporting each other and their families, and creating a network of strength that keeps the community afloat. These women are not just providers, they are teachers, leaders, and the heart of Belén's resilience. Marco, a young man studying to be a tour guide, dreams of showing the world Belén's strength, not just its poverty. He sees a future where visitors come to witness the ingenuity and warmth of his people. The older generation remembers cleaner rivers and plentiful fish, adapting with every change. Their memories are a bridge between the past and the present, guiding the younger generation. "You must be like the water hyacinth," one elder told me. "Strong roots, but flexible enough to float wherever the current takes you." Their wisdom is a lifeline for the community. These stories reveal pride, resilience, and a deep connection to the river. Families stand together, united by tradition and hope. Children swim after school, fathers carve toy boats, and families find joy in small moments, reminders that happiness can be found even in the face of adversity. Everyday life here is woven from struggle and celebration, with each day bringing new challenges and new reasons to come together. These personal stories are the true fabric of Belén, stitched together by perseverance and hope. They show why people stay and fight for their home, refusing to let hardship define them. In Belén, resilience is not just survival, it's a way of life, passed down from one generation to the next. The river shapes them, but their spirit, rooted in community, hope, and courage, defines them. As I leave Belén, I'm struck by the community's resilience and hope. The challenges are immense: lack of services, legal uncertainty, and the threat of relocation. Some see moving to solid ground as a chance for a better life, others fear losing their culture. The central question: how to improve lives without destroying what makes Belén unique? What's clear is the people's unbreakable spirit. Young leaders create new opportunities, mothers build businesses, elders pass down wisdom. Belén's future depends on the self-reliance and adaptability. My journey here reminds me, home is not land, but community. Even without solid ground, you can build a life of dignity and hope. In Belén, the spirit is unsinkable, and that lesson will stay with me long after I leave the Amazon.